In fact, generations back in time, Chinese wisdom and science were already knowledgeable about the true roots of life and the fundamental meta-rational connectedness and cyclic nature of all living. Chinese medicine always saw emotions as phenomena that are directly related to the flow of the bioenergy. Traditional Chinese medicine emphasizes the relationship between diseases and emotions. 7 emotional factors are recognized: joy, anger, melancholy, worry, grief, fear, and fright. They are the main pathogenic factors of endogenous diseases. These 7 pathogenic emotions are physiological reflections of the human state of mind or are induced by environmental factors. Under normal conditions, however, these physiological phenomena will not cause disease. Only when emotions get out of balance, losing their kaleidoscopic nature, by one emotion dominating another, then they may induce long-standing changes that result in diseases. Pathogenic emotional factors are considered capable of disturbing the functional activities of qi, the bioenergetic flow. Traditional Chinese medicine considers that the normal or abnormal function of an unrestrained and free-flowing qi is directly related to emotional activities, and that the mental state is not only dominated by the heart but also by the liver. When qi activities are normal, the body enjoys a harmonious circulation of qi and blood, an easy mind and happy emotions. If there is a dysfunction in the free flow of qi, it will directly affect the individual's emotional state. Sweet and melting organ sensations are the natural state of a bioenergetically freely flowing organism. The vital energies are in a continuous flow, and they are enhanced when we love and feel attracted to another organism. The 2 organisms then namely begin to vibrate in unison, which reinforces the bioenergetic streaming in each of the organisms. Streaming is something that the normal unarmored character can perceive, usually as heat or a nice hot flow circulating from the top of our head until our toes and back. However, as in our culture from babyhood, our body sensations are veiled, repressed, and called sinful and bad. The organism's vitality begins to shrink, and finally, usually within or after puberty, begins to exhibit characteristics of an armored or sadistic character. The sadistic character is the result of a bioenergetic lock that comprises primarily the pelvis region, the upper neck, and the region between the eyebrows. In these regions, muscles are particularly crisp and inhibit the free flow of the vital energy. What happens is that emotions that normally are warm and agreeable are perceived as threatening and anxiety-inducing. Typically, more the person is locked in a neurotic, reductionist scheme of perception, the more the natural organ sensations are perceived as alien to the organism and thus as outside forces. This is particularly pronounced in the extreme case of a total bioenergetic lock that we know as schizophrenia.
Sometimes it requires understanding that emotional pattern and connecting the parts of the nervous system that are about emotional survival and cognitive appraisal, and working through the emotional stuckness. That's why I suppose there's so many different types of therapies. There's therapies that are geared more at looking at emotions, more at looking at cognitions, more looking at behavioral ways you can help yourself to get out of a pattern. But I think, again, looking at the human organism as every living system as an integrated whole, that if there are ways of integrating cognition, emotion, behavior, physiology in your approach to change, then that's what's ultimately going to be most helpful.